Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome tonight. Sim, thank you so much for the support. Hope you all are doing great. So I came across a video of a man saying that if you are not happy about Donald Trump's administration, and if you do not like Donald Trump, that you are sick and you are the problem. That is also to tell you how some of these people think. And who is he even talking to? Because I really do not understand where he's coming from and who he is talking to. One thing I have known so far is that these people, no matter how bad it is on their own end, will never admit some certain things. Why? Because if they admit that some certain things are going wrong, people will actually laugh at them. But then all they are saying, like this particular one, is very laughable because it is right in their faces that a lot of them are losing jobs. Farmers are no longer able to cultivate, and things are going like harder than they thought, and somebody came out here to convince himself that the administration is doing great. Of course, I can see how great it is, and a crate of egg is how much now, which means that it is not everybody that can actually afford it. Medicare and all that being removed for no just reason, DEI and the rest of it, and all that are no longer. See, you all really have to just keep quiet, and if you do not have anything good to say, because it looks like some of you do not even understand the weight of what is going on. Not until you are also not able to, if you lose your means of livelihood, then you can understand what some people are going through. Let's get into this video.
The people who hate Donald Trump are sick, nasty people. This man is a great leader. I think the greatest president in the history of America, and the greatest leader in the history of the world. The people who hate Donald Trump are sick, nasty people.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ted. You were talking about sick people that hate Donald Trump. Are they so sick that they would shit on themselves to get out of a draft? How about so sick that they would adopt a child just so they could have relations with them? Hey, Ted, your house isn't only not clean, it's also blowing in the motherfucking wind. Who are you talking to, Mr. Nugent? Who? You don't have a right, a privilege, or anything to ever say anything to me or anybody else that hates that orange bastard. When your house is so in fucking ray, you keep trying to pretend like don't nobody remember. Bitch, I do. You shat on yourself to get out of the draft. And then you adopted a kid just so you can have relations with him. If you don't sit your nasty ass the fuck down some goddamn where. Let me help some of y'all understand something. When you lead on your myths, you fuck yourself and everybody around you. Buckle in, kids. This is one of them lessons. When you lean into your myths, you fuck yourself and everybody around you. You fuck generations of people that you will never meet because you'll be dead and your seed has spread. You fuck them too because you believed in the myths. You're dead. You're fucking dead. America's not ready for a woman president. Why not? Why not? Why not? America wasn't ready for a black president, but we got one. America wasn't ready for a black woman vice president, but we got one. And you survived. You lived. You bitched, moaned, and complained because, oh my God, I want my orange man back. But you survived. Anybody that bought a $99 fucking NFT or a pair of $500 golden shoes, y'all don't get a chance to tell us how bad that Biden economy was. Because now your ass is begging for that shit back. Why? Because when you lean on myths, when you vote with myths, you fuck yourself and everybody around you. You do. How much smoke blowing did you need to be told that rural America is real America? No, it's still America. And you can't get the dick. I'm just saying. You can. You're a farmer believing that you get up and you work harder than anybody else, and that everybody else that doesn't work as hard as you is leeching off the fucking government. So were you. Now your ass is fucked. That's why I will not sit up and listen to those goddamn I regret my vote videos. Fuck you. No, you don't. Because you voted with myths. And now you fucked yourself and everybody around you. That's that selfishness. Here's a big myth that y'all keep leaning on. Rugged individualism. This shit don't exist. Our entire government is full of Nepo babies. It ain't what you do is who you know type shit. Loyalty to one man, not the Constitution, nor the people that make up this country. When you believe in myths, you fuck yourself and everybody around you. How many of you white folks really honestly believe that y'all were better than black people? Because I know in the back of your head it's there. Don't act like it isn't. Don't act like it isn't. And rather than unlearning that shit, you believed it. So when the prospect of not only having a woman, but a black woman in charge happened, you motherfuckers said, nah. They're emotional. She might be on her period. She's in her fucking 50s. Fuck are you talking about? Common sense was nowhere common anywhere near you motherfuckers. Now you realize, oh fuck, I really made a mistake. I screwed myself. I screwed my wife. I screwed my kids. And pretty soon I screwed my grandkids and great grandkids. Why? Because you believed in myths. Rugged individualism. All the racial statistic bullshit that you have heard. The face of welfare being a black woman face and not a poor rural white person's face. You believed all of it. And then you took your monkey ass into a goddamn voting booth and fucked your goddamn self. Just greased all of America with baby oil. When you believe in myths, when you vote with myths, you fuck yourself and everybody around you. How many unions are now looking at being basically shut out of any goddamn any sort of negotiations with these big businesses because some of those people within the union either didn't support one candidate or voted for the other one? Now you want to feel bad? No. You believed in myths and you fucked yourself and your union and everybody else. You did. You fucking did. How much shit has to be taken away from women before white women go, hey, wait a minute, maybe I shouldn't be over here voting for these goddamn people? You can say your ass is happy, but you know deep down you cannot control your own body. You cannot control your own motherfucking body. You know this. This is not a shock. This is not a secret. You know. Because you believed in myths and you fucked yourself and every other woman. How many young people went and did some stupid ass shit and voted for somebody that had no chance of winning rather than coming their ass to the table with their fucking concerns and having them heard in one unified voice? Because you thought they were both the same. That's a myth. That is a myth. Do I think both political parties are dog shit? Yes, but for two totally different goddamn reasons. They are different. Yo dumb ass out here, I'm gonna vote for da-da-da. The bitch ain't gonna win. He wasn't gonna win. There was two parties in this. You picked the third shit that ain't even on the goddamn table. Now your ass starving. Because when you believe in myths, you vote with myths, you fuck yourself and everybody around you. How many people who desperately need Social Security disability, Social Security benefits, Medicaid benefits, how many of y'all voted against all that shit? Oh, I'm sorry. You didn't know it was going to fuck you though, did you? You didn't, did you? In the back of your head, you was like, those Mexicans are stealing it and the blacks are just using it and wasting it and stealing it. And now your dumb ass need it and you ain't gonna be able to get it. You slit your own motherfucking throat and then bled on every goddamn body else because you believed in myths. And when you believe in myths and when you vote with myths, you fuck yourself and everybody around you. Now you got 4 years of regret. We're 1 month in. We're 1 month in. The party you support don't give a fuck about you. The president you supported don't give a fuck about you. The guy that you thought was the greatest guy in the world is looking for a tax cut. And children, $4.7 trillion tax cut is coming. How many of y'all regretting your vote are going to sit up and cheer for that? How many? Not realizing that whatever they decide to give you, whatever little shekels they decide to give you will be expired in like a week. Meanwhile, the billionaire class that keeps sucking up all that money, that has your ass out there working like a goddamn field slave, yeah, this shit's going to be permanent again. And you voted for that. You fucked yourself, believing them myths and voting with them myths, and then you fucked yourself and every goddamn body else around you. So now what have we learned? Probably nothing. Because in 4 years, the fog of memory is going to happen. Amnesia will just set in. The election cicada will rise out of her chrysalis to come in and promise you a bunch of shit that ain't going to happen, and you'll believe her. Donald Trump will either be here or dead, and J.D. Vance will try to sell you MAGA 2.0, this time with more dick, and you will believe him. Fox News will keep pumping this idea into your head that real America is white and country and farming, not realizing what good is a farm if ain't nobody got the money to buy the shit that you make. You will listen to country artists tell you about pronouns and how scary it is to be in a bathroom with a person who's trans. You're going to continue to think that the Mexicans are out here stealing shit, when in actuality, those farms would not have any fucking help whatsoever if it wasn't for the migrant. And you will fall right back in line. Because you're stupid. I'm just going to be honest with you. Because you're stupid. And you're selfish. And you refuse to change either one of them. So you will continue to believe in myths. You will continue to believe in myths. You will continue to vote with myths. And you will continue to fuck yourself and everybody around you. Generations of your family will be fucked over because of your shit that happened. Because of your selfishness, your stupidity, and your lack of trying to even change that. Don't look at me. I'm always going to stand on the right side of history. I never have to doubt myself. But some of you were on the wrong side of history, and this time history will remember. Because it's 10 times worse than it was the last time, ain't it? Ain't it? Don't feel good, does it? Does it?
Magus, now that I have your attention, now that you are all over my comments, severely upset that I made a comment about that woman's lips, now that I have your attention, I have a question. Why are you guys not upset that Elon Musk is being paid $8 million a day to report inaccurate information? Why are you guys not upset that Elon Musk is being paid $8 million a day to identify frivolous and waste spending? $8 million a day. Why is that not upsetting you? You guys said that this man was going to drain the swamp, that he was going to identify all the fraud and waste spending of the American tax dollars. Why are you not upset that he's being paid $8 million a day? And a lot of you are upset about the idea of an $8,000 check. One $8,000 check will be issued to Americans over 18, while this man receives $8 million a day of our tax dollars. $8,000, one $8,000 check is enough to shut you guys up and just totally ignore the fact that this man is being paid $8 million a day. He hasn't reported any accurate information since the day he started his job. He told us that $50 million was being sent to Gaza for Hamas to purchase condoms. The whole time the $50 million was being sent to Zimbabwe for AIDS prevention, for condoms for AIDS prevention. There were never any bombs being made by Hamas with the $50 million for condoms. He just told us that there were people up to 200 years old receiving Social Security checks. False. That is because he has 19-year-olds who have no experience in coding going over these transactions. Experienced coders immediately identified the inaccuracies in this information. Even the Social Security Administrator, acting commissioner, who was appointed by Donald Trump, denied these claims, stating that it was a coding error that he couldn't even recognize. And he is being paid $8 million a day. Why are you not upset about that? But you're so upset that I made a comment about a woman's lips. Why are you not upset about the cuts, the closing down of U.S. aid that will almost eliminate our access to those healthy foods that they say that is the only thing that we should be capable of purchasing with SNAP benefits? I don't get SNAP personally. I don't get any government assistance. But at one time I did, and I needed it. And it's not fair what these people are doing to poor people. Why are you not upset that they closed down USAID? A lot of small farmers will have to close down their family farms, eliminating our access to the healthy foods that they claim are the only food items that we should be capable of purchasing with SNAP. Why are you not upset about that? But you in my comments upset about me making a comment about this woman's lips. Why are you not upset about the cuts to Medicare and Medicaid? That poor people and elderly people will not be capable of purchasing, of getting the government covering life-sustaining medications. And as a result of the Medicare and Medicaid cuts, your local hospitals will start to close down. Because once there is no Medicare and Medicaid reimbursement, they won't be able to afford to keep them all open. So why are you not upset at the possibility that your local hospital will be closed down and you will have to drive over an hour in the event that you have an emergency? Your child has an emergency. Your elderly parent has an emergency. Explain why you're not upset about that. But you in my comments upset about me making a comment about a woman's lips. Explain why you're not upset that even though he claims that he is draining the swamp while firing thousands of federal employees, the federal workforce only makes up 5% of our yearly budget. 5%. You know what makes up 50% of our yearly budget? Defense. This year, $100 billion was added to the defense budget. And guess where Elon Musk gets paid from? Defense. Why are you not upset that he is scamming us right in front of our face? Why are you not upset about that? But you're in my comments upset that I made a comment about a woman's lips. Explain, MAGA. Or outraged in my comments about me making a comment about Carolyn Leavitt overlining her lips. Explain why y'all not outraged about the fraud that is happening right in front of your face. Explain that, MAGA.
Republicans are interested in the way that they frame any conversation surrounding corruption. Particularly in the time of Donald Trump's presidency, they are literally trying to make the argument that this unelected official, that is Elon Musk, who shouldn't be doing the job that he's doing because that is an unconstitutional organization that Republicans in Congress and the Republican Supreme Court refuses to hold accountable. He's deciding to allow Elon, an unelected official, to unilaterally audit the federal government, rooting out corruption. Now, we know people that actually are not stupid and are not cult members know that what Elon is doing is not rooting out corruption. What Elon and Donald Trump are doing is trying to find ways to fund their next billionaire and millionaire tax cut. So if they can fire a lot of federal workers, a lot of them being veterans, can unilaterally decide to pull the funding of one of the premier aid agencies, USAID, decide to scrap agencies like the Consumer Protection Agency. He decided to scrap the Consumer Protection Agency, which is not rooting out corruption. It's literally him understanding that his Teslas could be subject to a bunch of complaints that would go through the Consumer Protection Agency. And if that agency is no longer there to hold him accountable, then he can just give you a shitty product and you can do nothing about it. A lot of these people are choosing to be willfully dumb. They don't want to admit that Donald Trump is the corruption in the government, that Elon Musk is the corruption in the government, because that would mean that the liberals were right. And you know, most of their personality is owning the libs. So if they admit that the liberals were right, you can't own the lib. They understand that nothing that he's doing is actually helping the majority of Americans. But what they do have, even if it means harming their own families, their own people, red states will be impacted by Trump's policies more, negatively impacted by Trump's policies more. As long as liberals and Democrats are feeling some sort of discomfort from these people, from Donald Trump, from Elon, they are happy They are gleeful even. There is nothing, and anyone that pretends that anything that's happening now is normal, there is nothing normal about what's happening with the current administration and all of their executive actions that are aimed at harming marginalized communities, firing black and brown people, women that they view as DEI hires, and replacing them with extremely unqualified white men, being hostile towards the LGBTQI plus community by replacing these people that are pushing for protections for said community with people that are openly hostile towards them. These are the people, a lot of these conservatives, these Reagan 11th Commandment conservatives that don't seem to want to activate the functions in their brain to see when shit is fucked up, are willing to torpedo the country because they are unwilling to criticize Donald Trump and admit that they got it wrong. They would rather let this man fuck the entirety of this country up before they acknowledge that the liberals were right about him. Because the only thing that they have in their politic is spite, hatred, and anger, and just owning the libs. And by the way, a lot of tanky leftists are exactly the same way.
This is all I got from this video. The reality is that some people are not even believing or agreeing that there is something going wrong with this present administration. And that is a typical example of it. Because tell me how this man came out screaming and saying, if you do not like how. Now, I am going to say this, right? White women, white men, majority of them, if not that some of them are directly affected, would never have come out to talk about how they are being affected. I said what I said, and I am very sure that my own people know what I am saying. Majority of them that are crying because, federal government, some that work with federal government are also losing their jobs and all that. Like, I see a lot of them crying out loud that they are losing their job. Like, they never knew that it was going to happen like this. And I also saw some white women saying that if Trump comes for third term, that they will also vote for him without even knowing what is going on and the policies that are affecting them so far. That is to tell you how ignorant and how silly some people could be. Now, I am going to say that now it looks like when something how many people so far will I say that this government is favoring, except for the bourgeois, except for the rich people? And so tell me how even the people, I don't think there is anything like middle class this time around, because it looks like if you're not poor, you're just so rich. Because the ones that are in middle class are struggling and working so hard also to meet up, right? And some people still think that if you think that this man is not doing good enough, excuse me, that you are the problem. That tells you that really it's just going to really be a very long way. A lot of people are saying, why are white women not coming out to talk? The truth is that white women are hoping for $5,000 stimulus or $8,000 stimulus check that will never come to them, because they are hoping that if it comes, it's just let them silence me for real. That's why they are not talking. I am not seeing them doing enough because they thought black people were the first that would jump out and scream and shout. No, black people are not coming out anymore. The fact that majority of them are comfortable in their house, I know they are not comfortable, but they are just we are not supposed to talk because we did this mess. So if we talk, they are going to laugh at us. Because why are they not all out there saying something? Somebody said not until they take away their cat and dog shelter, and she wasn't lying, because they care more about cats and dogs than human beings. Those cats are like everything to them. But other people's well-being and all that, it's not important. That is one of the reasons why I keep saying that God, another way they say God works in this miraculous or mysterious way. This government, it's more like it, because it is really hitting them harder than we thought. We thought we are just going to be the ones getting it left, right, and center, but it started with them. And it's also ending with them. Not until they start making noise, make uncomfortable noises to talk about how the government ain't being great. Not until then. Ain't nothing happening. I will clock out here. See you all in my next video. Bye for now.